This short video presentation is going to focus on Vlookup and the use of the Hlookup. So most students ask how or when should I use the Hlookup or the Vlookup. So answers to that are within this video. So I've just tried to do a theoretical representation before we go on to do the practical part. So from the theoretical representation, if you look at how you can use the Hlookup, you can have a scenario whereby you have your headings on the left side, then the data that you want to use in your table array is stored in form of rows or is stored horizontally. So that will give you a guide at what you need to use is an Hlookup. You have your headings on the left side and the data entered across. So that's under such scenario you have to use the Hlookup. Then you have another scenario whereby you have your heading right at the top. Then the data that you want to analyze, your table array is in form of columns like this. It's stored vertically. So what it means is you are going to use the Vlookup. So that simple theoretical representation could help you. But now let's go on to do the practical part. So the practical part, we are just going to do the calculation. So to calculate now, I'm going to start with my equal sign. So which function should I start? Let me start with the Hlookup. Look for my function. So I choose Hlookup. So here my screen is this will not utilize much of my screen, so you can do calculations here, but I'm just going to do it this side on the formula bar. So Hlookup, lookup value, which value am I going to look up? So I'm going to look up for this value, which is in E9, comma. So this is our guides. Then our table array. What's the table array? So you have to highlight the range, not including the heading. Then after that, make sure you lock your range function F4 on your keyboard, or you could just use F4 to make it absolute, to lock the range so that when you replicate, your answers become correct. So after that, you place a comma. So now the question to answer here is in which row do we find the data that you are looking for? We need a position here. So our position is in row number 2 because we've got code and row and position. So if you put 1 here, what it means, the output will simply be a code. So we need the position. So we're going to put your 2, then comma. The last part of the Vlookup or Hlookup asks you, do you want an approximate match or an exact match? So I always choose the exact match, which is the false. Then so that's it. So simple components that you need to remember about your Hlookup: your lookup value, your range, the row that you need to be displayed, as well as the exact match. When you're done, you press enter, so you can see. So when there's PS, so it means what is to be displayed here is procurements. So I can just go on to use my autofill. Now I can have my output like that. So I can see an issue here with CC. It's supposed to be displaying the sales click. So if you look here, this is CC, this is CL. So there is a difference here. So we are using this as our horizontal lookup, the data array, but here there is CL, so it's supposed to be CC. Let me just make an amendment there. Press enter, so that it was just an error in producing the template. So the code here and the codes here, they have to be the same. So if you can't find the code, like there was no CL, so here the output was going to be invalid. So now that's it with the HLOOKUP. So I'm going to delete this. Use the same concept to come up with the Vlookup. So Vlookup, then you do the same. Click here on your formula bar. What's your lookup value? Simple, the same lookup value, comma. What's your table array? So you highlight your table array, excluding the heading. Then you make sure you make this absolute. So I'm going to use function and F4, or you can just hit F4. So comma, then column index. This time this is vertical lookup, so you're dealing with columns. So your position is in which column in your data array? So it's in position 1, 2, in column number 2. So I'm just going to put a 2, comma, then exact match or approximate match. So I'm just going to choose the exact match. Then you're just going to press enter. Then you're just going to use your autofill like that.